For 196 years, Plainfield Christian Church has been filled with people willing to be used by God. From 17 settlers building a log cabin in 1829 to when the members of the church handmade each brick during the Civil War to construct the building that still stands on Center Street, to a season of explosive growth at the building on Buchanan Street, to a bold step of faith to build a new building right here at 800 Dan Jones Road in the middle of some cornfields. All along the way, we've seen thousands of baptisms, marriages healed, addictions broken, children raised to love the Lord, missionaries sent out, disciples made, and a legacy of faithfulness passed down from generation to generation. And now, almost 2 centuries later, that mantle has been passed to us. We are on the brink of a unique ministry moment. Look around, hundreds of new homes are being built all around us. Thousands of cars drive past our church building every day. Hendricks County is growing and changing rapidly. And who did God choose to seize that opportunity? He picked us. Esther 4:14 reminds us that we were put here for such a time as this. So are you willing to be used by God? In the same way that those 17 settlers decided it was time to cut down the trees and construct a building, we are sensing that God is calling us to prepare for the next season of ministry opportunity because we're facing some real challenges. Our student ministry is strong, but the current facility is dilapidated. It's an old machine shop that was converted roughly 20 years ago, and it served its purpose well, but it's time. Our church's best outreaches are community treehouse hours. However, if you've been to the tree, you know that its reach is limited because it's designed for little kids. My oldest is 7 years old and he's bored now on that playground. God is bringing dozens of new people into our building every single week, many of whom are far from God and desperate for hope. However, one of the most consistent things we hear from people is, "This building is really confusing." Our current Sunday morning worship experience is difficult for new people to navigate. It makes it hard to get connected and it feels uninviting. If we don't take action to address these barriers, we just might miss out on what God wants to do here in this season. So as we prepare to meet this ministry moment, we are embarking on a 2-year initiative called All In. This God-sized initiative will allow us to repurpose our facility to meet the needs of our community. We're going all in for such a time as this. And in this project, we have 4 main objectives. Objective number 1 is a strategic student center. If we do our job and disciple these kids well, they will be weird almost everywhere else they go. So it's never been more important for them to have a space where they're safe, where they're loved, a place that they can call their own as we equip them and launch them back out into the world. And by faith, we anticipate that many more generations of kingdom workers and future ministers and missionaries will be raised up in that facility. Objective number 2 is to create a hospitable guest experience. We want to create a clearer and more compelling guest experience so that when people enter our building, they are funneled into community rather than letting them slip out of our building unknown and disconnected. We need clearer foot traffic pathways and better mingling spaces and more compelling wayfinding. And we believe that God will usher hundreds more people into deep, transformative relationships with Him and one another. Objective number 3 is to create a missional family space. God's doing amazing things through the treehouse. That playground is the best return on investment dollars that this church has ever spent. And since God is blessing that ministry so lavishly, we want to expand its reach. So we're converting our current gym, as well as the stage and backstage areas on that half of the building, to create an awesome family entrance and play area that will appeal to older kids as well, broadening the range of families that we can reach. So that when these thousands of new families move to our community and look for a place to play with their kids, we want to be the first place on their list. Objective number 4 is an intentional outreach. We don't want to just prepare these spaces, but also to proactively go out and find the people who need these spaces in 2 specific ways. First, whenever somebody buys a house in our community, we want them to get a gift from Plainfield Christian Church. We want to be the first ones there to say welcome home. And second, every time a baby is born in Hendricks County, we want them to get a gift from Plainfield Christian Church. Those are two huge life transitions where people are looking around for where to belong and what their new normal's gonna be like. And we want to be there when they do. So to go all in on this God-sized vision, this 2-year capital campaign has 2 main goals. Goal number 1 is 100% engagement. We want 100% of Plainfield Christian Church to say, yes, I want to be used by God. I am all in for such a time as this. And goal number 2 is $10 million. The total cost of this project is $20 million, and we're prayerfully hoping to raise $10 million over 2 years, over and above our current level of giving. So let's go all in. And if you do, I'm confident that you will find what Rebecca and I have found. We've gone all in and made our commitment already. It's the most we've ever given, and it is stretching us, but it has been so much fun to see how God is growing us through it and knowing that we are being used by Him. And if we all do this together, if you say yes, just imagine what God could do. Imagine a family moving to our town, new job, not sure what life is gonna be like, and then a gift basket shows up on their step with a smile. Hey, we're glad you're here, welcome home. Imagine a single mom having a baby. She's scared, not sure she has what it takes, but then she gets a gift with her baby's name on it and a handwritten note, and she knows somebody sees me, somebody cares, there's a place I can go. Imagine the family that musters up the courage to come to church for the first time, and they can actually find their way around and get connected and meet the people who will introduce them to Jesus. Imagine generations of kids who will go down those slides and dig their roots deep in the love of God. Imagine students being launched out into the world as missionaries and worship ministers and doctors and football coaches to be bright light in a dark world. This is what God is doing. This is why we're here for such a time as this. So Plainfield Christian Church, let's go all in.